What is going on? 2 terror attacks just this week. We just buried someone today. Why do our enemies who call themselves Palestinians try to murder innocent Jews almost every day? The world wants everyone to think it is because of oppression and occupation. But do you really believe that? Honestly, that fits nicely with the left's catch-all ideological answer to everything. Oppression, oppressed and oppressor. But is it actually connected to reality, to our reality? Well, let's analyze this based on 2 recent terror attacks just this week here in Israel. Israel today buried 19-year-old Yehuda Guetta. Yehuda is the most recent victim of the horrendous terror we put up with from our enemies in the name of their false cause called Palestine. Yehuda and 2 other teenagers were shot on Sunday while walking and standing at a bus stop in the Shomron, Samaria. I and my family stand at bus stops like this in Judea and Samaria all the time. IDF soldiers guard all the different intersections with bus stops to make it as safe as possible, but then we have terror attacks every once in a while. Today, the IDF successfully found the murdering terrorist after a 3-day manhunt since the shooting on Sunday in the Shomron. Guess what? The family of the terrorist is not a poor, oppressed male. He is a U.S. citizen who also lives in the Arab village of Turmus Aya here in the Shomron. Turmus Aya is a Palestinian Arab village that is actually empty for most of the year, while most of its residents live and work in the United States to make money. Their houses are gorgeous. It's a gorgeous village. Don't trust me. Listen to the mayor of Turmus Aya speak about his own residents.
Turmus Aya, it lays down between Ramallah city and Nablus. It's in the middle way of between Ramallah and Nablus. The population of Turmus Aya in the city is around 4,000 persons who live in Turmus Aya, and there is around 8,000 persons live abroad. In summertime, most of the people live abroad. They come visit their family here, and some of them, they come, they bring their kids with them to go to school to learn Arabic and to learn Palestinian culture.
Also on Sunday, a 60-year-old woman tried to stab innocent Jews. Now, if you watch the video footage, you will see that this is very much a suicide mission. It does not look like this woman, this 60-year-old woman, will actually succeed in killing anyone with the knife in one hand and her pocketbook in the other hand. So what is she trying to do? What is actually going on here? In all honesty, it was a suicide mission. You have to understand what we're dealing with. Martyrdom in the Palestinian Arab culture is a ticket to paradise. It either wipes clean any past mistakes or shame or embarrassment, or it comes with a big payday, earning lots of money for the terrorist, or whether the terrorist is incarcerated or killed by Israel for the terrorist and his family. Allegedly, the 60-year-old woman could not have kids, so her husband took a second wife who gave him kids. So for years, this 60-year-old woman lived a life of despair and without honor, which in the Arab Muslim world is everything. So instead of continuing to live a sad life of shame, she decided to go on a suicide mission that would give her martyrdom and wash away the life of shame her family associated with her beforehand. Do you understand what we're dealing with? It's not about oppression or occupation. It's about their culture. This is what we in Israel are up against. This is what the cause called Palestine is all about. It's not about achieving a state of Palestine so that their people can live side by side in peace with the Jewish state of Israel. No! That's what the world media and politicians want you to think. That's why they call us oppressors and occupiers. But no, not true whatsoever. The essence of Palestine is a sick, genocidal culture that educates its own to murder innocent Jews for one simple reason. Because we are Jews, and then they get rewarded. Whether they do it for money, for honor, to escape a life of shame, it makes no difference. It also makes no difference if they are poor and need money, or they are rich Americans who don't need any money even though they live here some part of the year. People must understand. We will only have peace when the political and religious leaders leading this genocidal culture called Palestine are eradicated. And when anyone who is connected to terror gets punished in a way that they understand is actual punishment, deterring others from becoming terrorists. Considering the most valuable thing in their culture is land, then the best and most effective punishment is that the home of all terrorists are destroyed, and that the family is then deported. It is not just the losing of a physical home, but being disconnected from their clan because they live in clans. It's not the Western world. Now that is a powerful deterrence. They already proved to us that the death penalty would be worthless because life is meaningless to them. We know this because they commit terror attacks knowing that they might be suicide missions. So the death penalty isn't a deterring punishment. However, destroying their home and taking them off their land and deporting the family, now that is a punishment that will get the message across that terror does not pay, literally or figuratively. Besides our terror victims in Israel, who we have to bury like Yehuda, the next biggest victims of the genocidal culture called Palestine are the Palestinian Arabs themselves. Instead of them being able to live lives of freedom and prosperity, they are educated, starting in kindergarten, to murder Jews and destroy Israel. That must be stopped, for their benefit as well as for our benefit.